Did you know that Hammond Castle Museum's courtyard contains French storefronts from the 15th century? The concept that John Hayes Hammond Jr. had in mind for his courtyard was that it should evoke a 15th century French village that had been built around ancient Roman ruins. That way, his guests would feel like they were emerging from a church, represented by the museum's Great Hall, into a town square. While indoors, the courtyard was meant to feel like an outdoor environment, with a glass ceiling to let in sunlight during the day, a track-mounted moonlight at night, a pool, and various trees and flowers. To complete this environment, Hammond purchased 3 French storefronts from the 15th century, the facades that formed the entrances to shops in the village. One was from Tours, while the other 2 were from Amiens. The wooden parts of these are original, although it should be noted that there is modern glass and brickwork in them as well. They have also been composited together from different buildings, but they give some impression of how these types of establishments would have looked in the late medieval period in France. As this was an era of fairly low literacy levels, there wasn't much point in shopkeepers hanging written signs in front of their stores to tell people what they could purchase there. Instead, these shops relied on iconography. The carvings tell you what the function of each building was. The Tours shop is meant to be a bakery, although it is perhaps not immediately obvious to modern eyes. 2 figures are carved on either side of the door. The leftmost figure is a farmer with a scythe, whereas the rightmost figure is a merchant wearing a large money belt. The idea is that the farmer harvests wheat with the scythe, which is then ground into flour and baked into bread to be sold by the merchant, who collects money inside the belt. Medieval people would have been familiar with such men in their communities and would have been able to connect the dots, so to speak. Additionally, the bakery has 4 children carved in the center over the doorway, indicating that this was a family business. The crest below them was either that of the local lord or the baking guild. On the opposite side of the room, the Amiens facades are stacked on top of each other. The bottommost one is obvious. It is a butcher shop, as indicated by the men holding various animals: a cow, a pig, a rabbit, a chicken, and a fish specifically. The man with weighted scales indicates that this was a shop that offered good deals as well. The top facade has grapes and vines carved into it, hinting that wine was sold there, as this would have been a tavern or an inn. In addition to wine, taverns would have provided food and lodging. Interestingly, carvings representing patrons of the tavern are carved into the window frames: a man with a dinner bell, a woodsman, a farmer, and a female weaver. This indicates that this was an inclusive establishment that would have served people from all walks of life. The storefronts in Hammond Castle Museum's courtyard provide a fascinating glimpse into a world that communicated differently than we do today, at least in the popular sphere. We hope you enjoyed this video, but there's a lot more to explore about John Hayes Hammond Jr., his inventions, and his collection of art and artifacts. We invite you to visit us at Hammond Castle Museum in Gloucester, Massachusetts to learn more.